This is AX Alternative Manga Volume 1. This was published in 2010 by Top Shelf. And it's about 300 pages long. And it's just a huge collection of manga short stories from different mangaka, different drawing styles, different themes, different writing styles. Just everything is different. And you can still get this. You can easily find on eBay and A Books. So it's not like this is not like some rare item. It does run between $20 and $30, but that price has been consistent for a couple of years. I've been tracking it for that long. Finally found a good deal for it. And the reason I got this book really is that I'm a huge Yoshihiro Tatsumi fan, and this is the last English translated Yoshihiro Tatsumi story that I was penning for my collection. I have everything else through Catalan, through Drawn and Quarterly, through a book called Midnight Fisherman that was available on Amazon through a store in the UK, and now this. So and I love Yoshihiro Tatsumi. I'm going to do a video of his work soon. I just like how he deals with a lot of the underbelly of Japanese society, even during the 60s and 70s boom times, and how he often touches on dark subjects. He's not scared of it. I mean, and just so you know, Tatsumi is the creator of A Drifting Life, and he is the one that created Gakiga, which was the more dramatic, adult, noirish manga that first came out that ran against the popular shonen manga back when it first came out in the late 50s. And over time, this style has become more and more, I would say more and more the norm, or much more widely accepted. But also, there's one thing I like about anthologies is like some of the work you're just not going to like. But some of the work you're going to like. And I like the way this book was made because each page actually lists the mangaka and then the name of the story on each page here. So that way, if you're trying to find out who it is, you can always go back to the front of the book, or you can go to the table of contents. But this is really easy. And it's happened to me where I'm like, oh, who did this? Okay, and I'll write it down. Just a couple people I want to note, and I haven't finished reading this. I'm read about maybe a third of it. Takao Kawasaki did this great story, Rooftop Elegy, which is, I wouldn't say a Twilight Zone, but more like almost like a Hitchcock ending. I mean, it's about a man who wants to commit suicide, and he's on a rooftop, and there's a hitman here, and there's this discussion about desire to die and death. And I'm not going to spoil the ending, but there's 2 or 3 twists that all kind of work together. So I'm going to see if there's any more of his work that's been translated in English. One artist that I really fell in love with is Takato Yamamoto. And from what I understand from the book, this is the only manga he's ever done. He's an illustrator, mostly like horror. But I just love this line work, this really delicate, beautiful line work. It kind of gives me a little bit of an early Barry Windsor Smith vibe. I know it's not the same type of art style, but this line work is really gorgeous. And you can actually find his Instagram page where he posts a lot of his work. And it's just really lovely. And this is what I love about anthologies. Like, there's this artist that I never heard of before, who's a famous Japanese artist, and you just get into their work. Who else is someone that I found? Okay, Keizo Miyanishi. Now, I didn't know who Keizo Miyanishi was, but apparently she's a very famous mangaka from the 70s and 80s who was known for her erotic manga. But again, I love some of these halftones and this line work here. Just really glorious work, just really nice, and something you don't normally see in manga and in comics these days. You can tell this has got that black and white kind of really good old school vibe, but it's not dated. Just really lovely work. Just, I love this fisheye effect here. Splitting up this one drawing to the 3 panels. Just really interesting stuff. And she's had a famed career. And so I'm going to see if there's some work of hers that's been translated into English that I can get my hands on. And at the end, a little surprise, all the bios were compiled by Ryan Holmberg. So this is, he didn't do the translation, but this was very early contribution by Ryan Holmberg, who is known as Mangaberg on Instagram, and who is a leading authority of manga that resides in the United States. If you're interested in alternative manga and you want to see just what floats your boat, I think there's something for everyone here. Unless you're looking for Astro Boy or something like that, then you're not going to dig it. But I think if you're looking for something a little bit more mature and something that's different, this is a nice collection to pick up if you can find it. Like I said, this is like $20, $30. Book was well made. It's really very durable. And as you can see, I was going to flip through it. Oops. Some very different art styles. Here. Just something for everyone. So, if anyone's familiar with this book or familiar with some of the mangaka that are here and whether or not they have any English translations, please let me know, because this is the hard part about getting into manga that's not widely known, is that you have to hunt around for an English translation, and that's very difficult. I mean, you're going to have your Dragon Ball Z's and you're going to have your Ganibals and all that stuff translated to English without any issue. But this off the main path type of work, that's harder. So if there's anything that you here can recommend for me, I would greatly appreciate it. Anyway, thanks for your time. Have a nice day.